and welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, and today we are going to have a look at another SailfishOS topic, as you can see, or better to say we are just going to play a couple of different games on SailfishOS which you don't already know, hopefully. And in the end I'm going to show you everything on my Xperia 10 Mark III, which is my daily driver at the moment, and that one is going to be shown to you using a technology that is called screencast. If you want to know more about that, please have a look at the corner up there. There are a couple of videos where I'm going to show you what that means. In short, it's more or less a screen capture tool that is going to provide images which are constantly taken, and it's going to be put on a web server in the local LAN network, so in the local area network you're using here. And so in the end, we can more or less access that with another device, like in this case my laptop, and I can show you everything on my laptop, or better to say by HDMI. I'm going to transfer all the information to my TV here, so we have a big screen and you can see everything. There's going to be a lag with that, so if we are going to have a look at my smartphone at the same time, you should see that there's a slight delay between those. In many cases it's not that slightly, so in some cases it might be pretty hardcore delays, but not very usable for gaming or something, but sometimes it's working pretty nice, so we will see what's happening there. In the end, you should see everything on my smartphone if you don't see it on the big screen. I'm going to try to put it into your screen while playing the games. Okay, and as you can see, we already have a couple of different games which are shown here. So we have this penguin model, which is more or less a little slider game where you are going to run through in 3D. We have Flappy Bird, one of the very few Flappy Bird iterations I know which is actually playable, so you can really play it and don't lose yourself or die at, I don't know, 3 or 4 of those pipes, but you can really put a little bit of playtime in that. Then there is this golf game, which is really great, I like it. And we have Circle One, which is a nice one too. I will show you which of those are more or less the best, or what is going on there. In the end, just to let you know, most of those are one of two things. So they are Android based, or they are natively running on my SailfishOS device here. The Android-based ones are all from F-Droid, so we are not going to use anything like an App Store, an external one, especially not Play Store or something, but in this case all of those are F-Droid, so open software, or they are even running natively on my smartphone. Okay, so let's start with that. For that I will just have to go to my browser here, Firefox in this case. And you should see everything that I can see on this screen. I'm going to put that in the... Oh, sorry, that was wrong. 1 sec. Here we go. That one. So in the full screen mode, and as you can see, you should see everything that is going on. At least sometimes I will have, because there's a little bit of time between that, I'm going to just refresh. And there you can see we have a connection again, and we can see what's going on here on my smartphone. But as you can see, there's a slight delay, and there's of course a drop in the FPS. So everything you're seeing on the big screen is much less performant than on my smartphone itself. Okay, so just to let you see everything in real-time speed and in the one that is going to be transferred there, I'm going to try to hold my smartphone somewhere here. Hopefully I'm going to be able to put it into frame all the time, but sometimes I'm going to put it out of frame, sorry for that. Just while gaming you are going to do that. And just to let you know and show everything, here you can see this is my interface. Of course I'm going to go to the app launchers, and here you can see we have a store menu, but that's not what we are going to want to do here. I'm going to go to the folder Games, in this case Spiele, And yeah, as you can see, there are a couple of games more than the last time we did some video like this. I think the last time we had it only with Tapper. And so Tux Raider is the first game I will show you with the little penguin there. And there are a couple of other ones I will show you too. Okay, so let's start that. As you can see, this game is going to be using the accelerometer and the gyroscope of the smartphone, so I'm going to do all the time this stuff. It's better to watch it there then. And just to let you know, there are a couple of different options here, of course, like for instance you can go to training, challenges, credits of course. Preferences are the options, so you can enable audio and the video quality. I'm going to leave it at default in this case. And I'm going to go to training just to let you see what's happening here. And you must complete this training first, so first time we are not going to select anything else. We are going to go with go in this case, and as you can see, there we are, Bunny Hill is our first race, and I'm going to click on race here. And as you can see, it's even a 3D game, and I'm able to navigate through the different parts here. Of course, you might want to try to go where they're telling you to go to, but it really doesn't matter. All you have to do in this game is more or less collect all the different fish that are going to be there, because you're of course a penguin, and that is what you really like to eat here. So just go down that road, and as you can see, the game is running pretty nicely, even in screencast mode. I'm astonished that we have such frame rates there. Of course this is, I don't know, 15 maybe or something, but still, for such a technology that's pretty high value, or pretty good translation or projection times here. Of course, if you have a look at that, there is no stuttering here, because this is more or less 60 FPS output, and this is maybe 15 or something, but still good enough, I would say. Okay, so as you can see, the whole game is going to be about just running down a hill. More or less pretty normal game, but I like it somehow. You're going to collect everything, you are going to have a counter of the fish you collected there, and of course this is training, so this is pretty easy. After a while it's going to be harder and harder, but I really like it. It's a small little, yeah, pretty nice little 3D game, running game. We are now on a different ground. You already heard that from the sound my smartphone is making probably, but also the behavior of the one is a little bit different then. Yeah. And I would say this is more or less what I can show you from this game, because there's not too much happening here, but as mentioned before, this is only the... oh, just to let you know, you can jump to... I'm not sure why. Maybe it was meant to be that you should jump up for the fish there, but yeah, it's not really necessary. You can collect all the fish without jumping up, but if you want to, you can try it. Whatever. Yeah, I missed that one, whatever. And if you are going long enough, you're going to go down the whole hill, and then of course the next level is going to be waiting for you, and the training is of course over after a while. Go for the fish, not for the bracket there, because of course you're trying to select the fish here. I'm just going to jump up and down. I don't know if it makes any kind of difference, I don't know. And there we have the final line, finish line, and so this should be our game now. Okay, so Bunny Hill was completed. As you can see, we got 4 of 5 penguins out of that. Linus penguins in the end. And yeah, this is more or less what the game is all about. I'm going to leave the game now. At least if I figure out how, there we go. And I'm just going to shut that one down, and we are going to have a look at the next game just now. The next game is going to be our Open Golf. I really like Open Golf. It's a really nice game, especially because it's a 3D game too, and it has pretty nice graphics for such a game. As you can see, There we are. Open Golf is a mini golf game where you are going to play a couple of different levels. I already played all of them. There you go. And we are going to play the first one just to show you what's going on here. As you can see, we have this slider. We can go around, play this by just selecting something and trying to go into the hole there. Like this, for instance. 2 strokes, not the best one. You should get it done by the first round, more or less. But in the end, a nice little game, and yeah, pretty performant too. Especially on the Xperia 10 Mark III in this case, because that one is really pretty fast. Wow, one shot. Okay, so next one. Let's do a couple of levels with that. As you can see, there are a couple of different things going on here. Here there are those bumpers on the ground, which are going to stop you or give you more or less different other problems. But the first couple of levels are really easy to solve. But after a while, as you can see here, we have a real parkour, which is going to be played by you in this case. And of course, yeah, I really like the navigation too. Very playable. Very nice to play. Just try that one out if you like, for instance, golf and stuff like that. And as mentioned before, it's really fun to play. You have, of course, this indicator. The longer you slide it, the harder you are going to shoot everything. And of course, by just going to a different side, you can select in which direction the shot should go. There are moving parts in this game all over. And sometimes it's a little bit hard to see everything, but you can turn the camera like this too. And so, yeah, nice little mini golf game. Try it out if you like this kind of game style. It's really a nice one. Okay, so, and the next one I want to show you. I'm going to go to the play game list here. And as you can see, Open Golf was that one. There are a couple of games we are going to jump over just to more or less leave something out for the next video I'm going to do. And in this case, I'm going to have a look at Flappy Bird. And as you can see, there's some interesting thing, which is Flappy Bird has this little guy behind it. And this little guy is an indication for the Go Dot, I think, Go Dot. Game engine, which is a free and open source game engine, which can be used to, of course, create stuff like this. It's a very nice one. If you don't know about that, please have a look. The circle jump we are going to go after that one is going to be using the Godot engine too. And the great thing about the Godot engine is that you can create games for different kind of operation systems, so Android, and I think even something like Windows and stuff like that is supported like this. And of course, Sailfish OS is one of those too. And those are native Sailfish OS versions, so they are not from the Android store or the F-Droid store or something. It's really a native one from this part. Sorry, I just let my smartphone go to sleep mode. That shouldn't happen here. So let's have a look at Flappy Bird. So I'm going to just activate that, and as you can see, it's really Flappy Bird as you know it. And I think there is no real audio or sound. There is a sound output, but there is no audio or song output. So I'm just going to do that, and as you can see, there we go. And it's really, as I said before, playable in a pretty nice way. Performance is nice, and yeah, it's more or less Flappy Bird, you know about that probably. You just have to tip on the screen here, try to stay more or less alive by not falling to the ground, not running against one of the tubes which are going, yeah, like this. Not one of the tubes where you should run against them or something, just fly through the gaps you see there and try to get as many of them as possible. As you can see, I have a score of 14 now, so we got through 14 of the tubes in this case, and my best was 43 before. Okay. Yeah, Flappy Bird, I think you already know about that. It's a nice one. If you like this kind of game, try it out. There are a couple of the other ones. One of them is, for instance, Galaxy Attack and Lines. Galaxy Attack, for instance, is a very classic game. I might show you that in a later episode too. But let's have a look at the last one for today, which is Circle Jump. Circle Jump, I'm just going to activate that one. And it's something special about this, because this game has even a tutorial on how to do it. So it's Godot 2, and if you want to learn how to create this kind of game in the Godot engine, you can just go to a video and have a look at that, because YouTube offers that, or better to say the developer of Godot probably offers that or something, I'm not sure. It's going to be linked probably up in the corner there, so have a look there, and maybe in the description too. Okay, so let's start with that. I really like that game. It's a pretty fast one too, just to let you know. As you can see, you have this sliding around arrow there, and here you really see the FPS gap. So very smooth on my smartphone, very tick 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 tick, like on the other one here, especially if it's running faster than the technology is trying to catch up, but it's not going to happen. But just to let you know again, it's really the technology screencast which is very slow here and not the game itself. Okay, and all you have to do now is you see this little arrow there, and if you are clicking on the screen, the arrow is going to shoot up in the direction it's facing in this case. And yeah, all you have to do is more or less aim for the other circle which is there and bring it up there. So I'm just going to try that. There we go, and we got one. And now just try to do that, just to let you know if you are going to get it, okay, that one, and if you are going to do that in a very fast timing, so it shouldn't run through more than, or the first run through more or less, where you can shoot at the other one, then you are going to get this level upper. So this is more or less a power value or something like, yeah, charging in the end, so a combo setting. And 1 at the moment, if I press that, I am getting higher values here. And so just do it at the first part, otherwise the combo timer is going to be resetted. This game is pretty easy to play, especially if you're not holding it in a very awkward way like I do, because I have to show you in the camera what's going on. But in the end, as you can see, you can do that like that. I got not only 28 or something, I think I am at probably 100 or so, something in that direction, or maybe even more, because you can share it online. So if we go to share online, yeah, I'm just putting in test or something, because this is really not something that is going to be in the high score. But I already got to the high score. So if you go through the high scores here, you can see that you are going to find Fuhur somewhere, I think at 50 or something. There we go, 51. 5050 score in level 21. This is my score I got here. And the interesting part about all this game is it's really fun. It's fast paced, more or less, but very easy to play, very easy to go with. And there are going to be more or higher difficulty levels, more or less, because the circuits are going to run around, move around, try to get out of the way, stuff like that, are going to be in a different size, of course, too. And of course, the velocity, I think, is increased too, of the sliding around the tubes there. And so it's really fun to play this. Just go in, try it out. I really like it. Okay, and I would say for this episode we are going to cut it with those games, but as you can see, there are a couple of different games you can find in the different stores. There are a couple of different stores available, of course. As you can see, those are the ones I am in general using. Most important, the store of Yola, after all, Chum, Storeman and everything else is a little bit fishy, so be aware of what you are going to do there, and if you want to be very data protective or something, you might want to stick to those, but in the end the others are usable too. Aurora, for instance, is a real Google Play Store more or less, but it's going to be an anonymous session at least. So if you're downloading stuff from there with the Aurora Store, it's at least being more or less, while you're downloading or surfing around, it's going to be anonymous more or less. Yeah. So, I hope you had fun with this episode. It's a small little one, I know. But in the end, hopefully you had fun, and if you want to talk about anything, please let us know in the commentary section down below. Other than that, thank you for watching. Give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't subscribe. Yeah. Great little thing to say. So, please subscribe, of course, to the channel, and hope you have fun with it. See you in the next episode next time around, probably at the next weekend. So see you, bye bye, and see you soon.